That was not an upset.
Oh, it wasn't?
I mean, when you got two guys with so much experience, like I said before, he was behind the scenes. Two guys with a crazy amateur backgrounds, and one guy is not being seen, and another guy is being seen. Then we call it an upset. No.
Floyd Mayweather, who is renowned for his witty banter and unvarnished views, is said to have turned to loss after defeating Gervonta Davis in their battle. Mayweather did not hold back from making headlines with his jabs at Gervonta Davis, who has been outspoken about his views on boxing and judging. This development was interpreted as an opportunity for him to express his disapproval. But what he may not have foreseen was Floyd Mayweather taking advantage of the opportunity to publicly make fun of him.
It's just that he was working behind the scenes, and another guy was working in front of everybody. Then finally, they had to meet up, and then Anthony Joshua came up short. But Anthony Joshua, I told him from the beginning. You know, I was one of the first guys to come on record from the beginning. I told him he can come, and I can teach him some pointers. Because a lot of times, this is just my take. The same coach you had as an amateur doesn't always make him a great professional coach. Because some guys are great at amateur coaching, and some guys are great at professional coaching.
Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis's relationship has been turbulent, to put it mildly. At first, Mayweather's play was crucial in landing Davis a contract with Mayweather Promotions and helping him become a household name. However, as Davis's confidence and popularity increased, so did the rifts in their partnership, and accusations of disrespect, poor management, and public arguments ultimately caused Davis to leave Mayweather Promotions since their breakup. While Davis has been equally outspoken in accusing Mayweather of not having his best interests at heart, Mayweather has not shied away from making subtle and occasionally blatant jabs at Davis, casting doubt on his discipline, fight decisions, and demeanor outside the ring. This most recent insult appears to be a part of the two parties' ongoing story of bad blood.
Always speak the real, whether somebody like it or not. I just feel like Anthony Joshua, they keep going to different coaches. Oh, this coach gonna work with him. This coach gonna work with him. I told him in the beginning when he was undefeated, you got some things you still got to tweak, because if you don't, then you may come up short.
The underlying message of Mayweather's recent statement, which was a direct criticism of Davis's choice to stop working for Mayweather Promotions and pursue his career on his own, seemed to be that fighters like Davis might end up losing contentious decisions if they don't have the proper support and connections. Fans were split on social media between endorsing Mayweather's business-first strategy and Davis's pursuit of independence. Prominent analysts shared their thoughts, with some concurring that Davis's recent activities have made him susceptible in the boxing industry's corporate world. In the meantime, the New York State Athletic Commission has begun reviewing Gervonta Davis's Saturday fight against Lamont Roach Jr. in the wake of controversy, while others chastised Mayweather for kicking a man when he was down. After taking a blow from Roach in the 9th round of Davis's WBA lightweight championship defense, the champion went to one knee and rushed to his corner, pleading for his face to be cleaned, without being declared knocked down. Referee Steve Willis gave a stern warning but did not count it as a knockdown, and a displeased Roach expressed his displeasure. Had the referee or judges, who notably decided not to penalize Davis, decided that a knockdown would have given the Roach the victory rather than a majority draw in Brooklyn, this decision would have also damaged Davis's impeccable record. Davis, driven despite the setback, he stated interest in a rematch, an ambition shared by Roach, and claimed that the grease from his hair was irritating his eyes. Meanwhile, the New York SAC has started to analyze the bout, opening the possibility of a revision in the official outcome. The NISAC is currently looking into the situation surrounding Saturday's matchup between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. According to a statement sent to several publications, it was added during the round in question that a technical problem prevented the commission from receiving the replay video in the time frame allotted for review. According to the official statement, the referee's in-ring decision was therefore relied upon, and the fight went on. The commission is committed to upholding the integrity of combative sports and is committed to working with all promotions and production teams on behalf of the athletes, officials, and fans to ensure that technical issues do not arise in the future that prevent the delivery of ringside instant replay feeds to the commission's officials when needed. A technical glitch apparently prevented commission officials from reviewing the footage in real time, delaying any decision on whether Davis should face penalties for taking a knee. As the commission continues its review, it is unclear whether any upcoming ruling could retroactively affect the fight's outcome. Although entering the fight as a significant underdog, Roach came amazingly close to pulling off a shocking upset, which strengthened his drive for another attempt, but the outcome was disappointing. He is still desperate to get a rematch with Davis. The still unbeaten fighter posted a statement on X saying, "No more, I'm pushing for the rematch," indicating that Davis is open to a rematch. The rematch could happen soon as well. For example, UBA President Gilberto Mendoza told The Ring on Sunday that he plans to push for a rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach following their controversial majority draw on Saturday night, especially in light of the round NWBA controversy. In round 9, lightweight champion Davis found himself in an odd situation where he was willingly taking a few punches from Roach before suddenly taking a knee. According to the unified rules, if a boxer's knee makes contact with the canvas after a punch, regardless of whether the strike caused the fall or not, it is officially ruled a knockdown. Additionally, only the referee has the authority to pause the action, meaning that fighters cannot call for a timeout themselves. Another stringent if a knockdown Roach had been decided, a startling, according to The Ring's pound-for-pound ranking, victory came in at number 8. Mendoza has the authority to demand a quick sequel, but Davis admitted at the post-fight press conference that he was open to a rematch, but doubted it would occur immediately. "I don't think there will be any doubt about having a rematch on this," Mendoza stated. "I think this supersedes the public perception of boxing involved here, with a huge star for the sport, and we need to send a strong message out there." It was a very contentious night. Mendoza, who entered the fight as a major contender, is anticipated to ask the WBA Championships Committee to vote on an instant rematch. If the committee formally approves a rematch, the underdog will now possess the WBA Junior Lightweight Championship. However, Davis retains the contractual right to demand an immediate rematch because of his defeat, and the fight must take place within 120 days. Mendoza claimed that Willis might have witnessed a competitive fight and realized it wasn't a punch, but it's strange that it wasn't used considering that instant replay is available in New York.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute.
But the WBC champion is not currently promoting a fight with Davis. Instead, Stevenson stated of Pooh Jr. via X.com, that the unbeaten 27-year-old is focused on his own challenge, facing him for a chance to win another lightweight crown. Lamont the Truth would want to see this fight happen. Previously, Twitter Roach Jr. prepared me for the Valdez fight, which is also how I understood how the fight with him and Tank would go. According to boxing reporter Keith Idek, after Davis's tense fight with Lamont Roach, Vasyl Lomachenko was viewed as a possible opponent for Davis, despite Roach having lost twice against. In the amateur levels, Tank, after a bizarre performance by referee Steve Willis, Roach gave an incredible performance at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. However, he was not only denied a career-best victory, but also lost to Davis for the third time in his career when the Baltimore Bruiser decided to take a knee in the 9th round of their exciting match. Willis began to give account, but the experienced officials quickly determined it was a non-knockdown, ultimately denying Roach the victory. Davis revealed shortly after the fight that residue from his hair product had spilt into his eyes during the pivotal 10-8 round that may have changed the outcome in his favor. He was forced to descend to one knee by the Sting. While fans are clamoring for a rematch with Roach, He intimated at his post-fight news conference that his next opponent has already been chosen. It seems he was alluding to the two-time Olympic gold medalist and current IBF World Lightweight Champion, Vasyl Lomachenko. Within 30 minutes of the Roach fight ending, someone from Gervonta's team approached a high-ranking executive and inquired about Vasyl Lomachenko's availability for his upcoming bout. IDC stated on the Ariel Helwani show that the fight was scheduled for November 2nd of last year at the MGM Grand Prix. The talented southpaw has not competed since defeating George Kambosos Jr. in May of last year. Garden Arena in Las Vegas, the agreement was nearly finalized, but LMA chose not to approve it and later stated that he could wish to retire. Since then, WBA lightweight champion Davis has expressed his desire for a rematch with Roach, but with Lomachenko's future still uncertain, both bouts remain intriguing possibilities. Some believe that had the fight been scored differently, Roach could have won, marking the first loss of Davis's career. LMA is still unavailable until top-rank Lomachenko's promoter is told otherwise, so that's not an option for Davis, even though he wants that fight. The decision has sparked heated discussions among boxing analysts and fans alike. Demands a rematch. Famous American podcaster Joe Rogan has openly backed the call for a second fight in a hotly contested bout, adding to the conversation. The controversy started in the 9th round when Gervonta suddenly took a knee without signaling for a timeout. The referee started the customary 10-second count, but stopped it when he saw Davis wiping his eyes. As the boxing world buzzed about the unexpected change of events, famous American podcaster Joe Rogan joined his voice to the increasing desire for a rematch. However, Davis later addressed the issue, providing light on the reason behind his actions. Rogan, a lifelong fan of mixed martial arts and combat sports, said he had never seen Roach fight before, but after seeing his battle against Davis, he became a devoted fan, calling it a stunning showdown. Rogan said he was excited to see the two fighters clash in the ring once more. He also mentioned that he had watched the replay of last night's incredible title fight between Lamont Roach and Janana Davis. I had never seen Lamont fight before, but I'm a huge fan. The fight ended in a draw, but it was an incredible contest, and I sincerely hope they bring it back. Davis increased the stakes before the fight even started by placing a $250,000 wager before the weigh-in, while Roach, riding a remarkable 8-bout unbeaten streak, has been garnering widespread recognition for his supremacy in the ring. That he would win a knockout, but after the fight lasted 12 rounds, Davis found himself on the losing end of that wager, owing Roach a significant amount of money and adding even more tension to their growing rivalry. The likelihood of a rematch is still uncertain, particularly since Davis had hinted at retirement prior to facing Roach, but with growing fan pressure, a second showdown could be the ideal venue for both fighters to settle outstanding issues following his majority decision draw against Lamont Roach over the weekend Darren Tank. Davis expressed his frustration with X, claiming that the official ruling didn't do him justice, adding that they took the fight from me and ended it in a draw because I took that __ knee, but I landed the most punches in the fight, and he didn't even hit me with a punch when I took the knee. Interestingly, CompuBox statistics showed that Roach had the advantage in that department, and Gervonta also got a big break when the referee missed what should have been a knockdown after he took a knee. Had that moment been correctly scored, Roach would have won on the official scorecards, and few people would likely sympathize with Dan's version of events. And if anyone has a valid case for being denied victory, it's Roach, but without the benefit of being the one set aside, he doesn't benefit much from the controversy. Following the fight, Gervonta indicated interest in a rematch with Roach to allay any remaining concerns, but he made it clear that their second fight wouldn't take place right away because he already had another fight scheduled. Jake Paul also responded to the fight between John Davis and Lamont Roach.
Man, he got lucky at the draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, you gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my God.
But god damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
The choice to miss the knockdown, which could have guaranteed Roach, caused the boxing world to erupt in outrage. the vital point required for an unlikely victory in a 108-round match. Terrence Crawford, a pound-for-pound boxer, initiated these reactions by starting a social media debate with an angry tirade in which he initially claimed that Roach won, and that it should have been referred to as a knockdown. It's crazy that they robed that boy after the decision was made. I've never seen someone take a knee and not consider it a knockdown. Let's see what happens. In his last statement on the matter, Crawford even mentioned some of you all must watch, but he must have forgotten the rules for tonight. Despite his luck, Davis hasn't lost yet, and he says a sequel doesn't seem likely according to the rules. Floyd Mayweather versus Hanadu Hernandez, and C. Mayweather took a knee because he hurt his hand, and it was called a knockdown and not from a punch either. Crawford wasn't the only one who expressed frustration over the night's outcome, as Davis kept both his undefeated streak and the WBA lightweight world title. Davis claims that a knockdown was awarded when a knee touched the canvas, which was a major source of contention during the fight, but it wasn't given out, and Roach was furious that even though it appeared to be led by Davis, who should have been called Tank, he claimed that he had to take the knee because he had grease in his eyes after being left bewildered. He said, "Honestly, I thought I should have one without that being counted as a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref, I ain't." And really, if Tank Davis had to wipe sweat out of his, he added, "But the rules do state that if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I would have won a majority decision if that had been considered a knockdown. But I'm not really that frustrated because I was relying on what I was doing in there, taking control. And I believe I was landing more shots and more power shots." Following his arduous draw with Gervonta, Lamont Roach entered the post-fight press conference. Davis gave an honest assessment of the fight, stating that he was confident he had done enough to win the fight, and that he not only had the abilities to compete with Tank head-to-head, but also to defeat him completely. He claimed that even without the contentious 9th-round knockdown that was not called, he knew I had what it took going into the fight. As I mentioned, I knew I had a chin because I had sparred middleweights and junior middleweights, including current champions who were at that weight, so I know I can take a punch. I can understand why he knocks people out. I just knew that I can be in there and that I can outperform him to win rounds and exchanges because he fights spurts. Roach said that he honestly believed he should have won without the incident being counted as a knockdown, that he was not the referee, and said that Tank could choose to wipe the perspiration from his eye if he needed to. But he also pointed out that the rules explicitly state that taking a knee voluntarily results in an automatic 8 count. Despite this, he claimed that he was not depending on that circumstance, but rather on his own performance in the ring.
When you think about what happened in the 9th round, how frustrated are you that that wasn't counted as a knockdown?
Man, I'm not. Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of a knockdown, I would win the majority decision.
Roach thought he was assuming command. I'm not very upset about it since he added power shots and other shots, so I'm not really upset about that. But if that was considered a knockdown, I would win the majority decision. Sincerely, I'm not sure, but I can't go back and alter it. Did you guys see me in the ring telling him to keep counting? He started counting, and I asked, "Why did you stop?" Then, pointing out that he had a powerful chin, Roach said that Tank had respectable power and clarified that he would not claim it was overstated, implying that Tank might have sensed his strength. Additionally, Roach thought that this was what stopped a lot of Tank's shots, and after blocking Tank's best shot, he was certain that it was time to increase his game.
Yeah, Lamont, this is Matt from Brunch Boxing. What explanation, if any, were you given about why that particular sequence was not properly called a knockdown?
I don't know. Did y'all see me in the ring tell him to keep counting? he started counting. I was like, why you stop? Like, keep counting. But I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I can't go back and change it. So
Lamont, Sean Tell, congrats, man, on fighting a great fight. A lot of people agree with you that you did win the fight. Just can you talk about Gervonta's power? He got you with some good shots, but you kept staying in the center of the ring with him. A lot of other fighters don't deal with the power as well. How do you assess his power after being in there for 12?
he got decent power. He got decent power for sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told you I got a chin. I ain't going like that. It's just not gonna happen. But like I said, I see why he knocked people out, and I think he felt my power too. Like I think that's what negated a lot of his shots. And once I took his best shot, I was like, oh yeah, it's time to roll.
Referee Steve Willis did not rule a knockdown in the 9th round of a real-time review of the incident involving John Davis taking a knee against Lamont Roach due to technical difficulties. The New York State Athletic Commission was unable to access the footage in time to evaluate the situation and make an official determination. The boxing scene contacted the commission for a statement, and the Department of State Press Office responded by explaining that, due to the delay, they acted on Willis's call in real time and are still investigating the matter. The crux of the matter lies in the technical difficulties that prevented the commission's ability to properly analyze the replay video in real time while keeping the review in mind. Given the indisputable proof that Davis's knee made contact with the canvas and the simplicity of the knockdown procedures, the commission can best fulfill its role by formally declaring the incident to be a knockdown. 2 judges gave Davis a 10-9 advantage in the 9th round of the Davis-Roach fight, which ended in a majority tie. However, if the round had been scored 108 in Roach's favor according to regular practice, a knockdown would have been declared and all previous rounds had remained identical, giving Roach a unanimous decision. Victory with scores of 11-52, 114-113, and 114-113. The recent altercation between Lamont Roach Jr. and Gervonta Davis has generated more than just controversy. It also rekindled long-standing hostilities between Davis and Floyd Mayweather, his former mentor. Mayweather's public derision of Davis and the fight's controversial outcome underscore the long-standing hostility between the two. Floyd Mayweather's remarks after the Lamont Roach ruling have rekindled his spat with Gervonta Davis, bringing a new chapter to one of boxing's most fascinating rivalries. Mayweather's criticism highlights the value of economic acumen in the sport. As supporters anxiously anticipate Davis's next bout, his ferocious response demonstrates that he is more committed than ever to establishing his legacy. One thing is for sure, though, this is far from done.
Good right hand from Mont, uppercut. Good combination, Mont. Oh, good left from Tank. Right hand from Monty. Oh, Tank took a knee. He got knocked down. That's a knockdown. Tank is trying to bail himself out. That's a knockdown. That's a knockdown! How are you going to do that and run and get a towel? Who gave Davis that right? This is a highway robbery, dog. Good combination, Lamont. Oh, shit. They swinging on each other. Good body shot, Lamont. Lamont is rocking with it. This is Tarver Roy 1. What's going to happen is they're going to give the fight to Tank, and then the second fight, Lamont going to say any excuses tonight, Tank. And then he's going to knock Tank out. I've seen it. Lamont won, bro. He won 7-5 with a knockdown. This guy did the unthinkable, and I hope they don't rob him. Scorecards. They said majority draw. They cheated Roach. Roach got robbed, and everybody knows it. Rematch right away. They robbed him.
The continuous conflict between Mayweather and Davis brings to light a long-running argument in boxing. Is it more about the sport's legacy or its business? The New York State Athletic Commission's ongoing review could change the outcome, leaving fans and analysts in suspense, while the push for a rematch gains momentum, with WBA President Gilberto Mendoza advocating for a swift resolution to the dispute. Davis faces mounting pressure to restore his legacy, and the next few months will be crucial in determining whether this is the case. Mayweather's undefeated record and massive earnings are testament to his business acumen. That concludes today's video. Either Davis can silence his detractors and restore his reputation in the boxing world, or this incident will signal the start of a downward spiral. Please remember to hit the bell icon, like, and subscribe if you liked it, so you don't miss any of our next videos.